Okay, we will start the program, and today's schedule is Japanese students presentation in English.
Okay.
So anyway, that we have five groups, and Japanese students make a presentation from group one, group two, and finally the group five. So, okay, can you hear the Japanese student? If you finish the preparation for presentation, please start the presentation, group one members. Okay. Student group one. Okay, I now share the file. Share the file, and it is group one. Okay. Then
Okay.
yes. Okay. We are ready. Okay. Let's go.
How should we think of income inequality, Japan and Korea? We will compare the income equations in Japan and Korea. We will show you GDP per capita, average income, and Gini quotient. Introduction. GDP per capita. This graph shows that Japan maintains higher GDP per capita than Korea. The gap is getting narrow.
Let's go. The member of group one. Go ahead.
Comparison of average annual income in 2017, the average annual income of Korean workers was about これちょっと待ってよ。
Anyway, go ahead.
March 16 million from to
2.8 million.
2.8 million yen in 2012. The amount rose by 36 yen in 5 years. In 2018, the average annual income of Japanese workers was approximately 4.1 million yen. That highest amount was 4 million yen in 1997. Now it is 27 yen lower than that. However, it has risen by 32 yen in 6 years from 4.8 million in 2012.
Go ahead. The next person, go ahead.
Consideration on average annual income. According to later survey by employment type, released in November 2018, the median wage of worker in South Korea is about 2.5 million yen, whose difference from the average annual income was as much as
600?
600 yen. In
No,
Japan,
no,
even
600,000 yen.
6,000 yen. In Japan, even small and medium-sized enterprises give a relatively stable annual income of 4 to 4.5 million yen.
Okay, next folk. The next person.
Average monthly income from 2012 to 2018. South Korea's average monthly income has risen significantly.
Next guy. Who is next?
Income gap between Japan and South Korea. You can see that Korea has higher economic growth than Japan. In Japan, economic growth has been sluggish for a long time since the bubble crash, while Korean suffered from a sudden economic crisis in 1998, but recovered in about 3 years. Income inequality in Japan, Gini coefficient before and after redistribution. The Gini coefficient an indicator of income inequality. Income inequality in Japan is improving little by little. The ratio of the middle income group increased due to the improvement in the economic situation. Income inequality in Korea. At the of 2003, the absolute poverty level below the minimum living cost was 5.1 million. Of this, 1.38 million spent basic lives and 3.72 million spent poor lives. The second ranking group is 2.06 million. 5.78 million poor are left outside of the welfare system. Relative poverty rate represents households whose income is less than 50% of the median level. Relative poor household rate represents households whose income is less than 45% of the median level.
Who is next? Go ahead.
Comparison in high income group. The graph shows the ratio of the high income group. Korea dropped from 2.25 in
2000.
2000 2.16 in 2011, while Japan dropped 1.98 during the same period. Comparing to Japan, Korea had a higher degree of income inequality in 2000 than in Japan, but in 2011, the two countries had narrowed the GAP.
Korean income has been more unequal than Japanese. The inequality in Korea, however, is getting smaller in Korea, while that in Japan is getting larger. Because of these changes, the gap of the two countries is getting narrower. Conclusion.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all. Okay. Thank you so much for this one. Then we
By the way, I have a suggestion.
Yeah, please.
How about turn on the video because this is a joint program. So maybe student can see others' face. By doing that, maybe we can increase our, intimacy between students.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
얼굴
Thank you so much.
비디오 키는 게 어떨까요?
Okay. Anyway, that Professor, later maybe the student group will discuss some things. And
Okay.
including that the contents of the presentation.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, that we move to next group. Group 2. This one. Okay. Oops. Oh, come on. Okay, group 2, please start presentation. Group 2. Click the first. Let's start.
Olympic after the coronavirus. Comparison between past events in Japan and Korea. Introduction. The new coronavirus has postponed the Tokyo Olympics 2020 to the next year. Some say the decision of the postponement was too late. The postponement has caused a great loss in economic meaning. We wonder how much loss it has brought into Japanese economy. Therefore, we will consider the economic effect of Olympic. We will also consider the new costs incurred by the postponement.
The next person, please. Who's next?
The postponement of the Tokyo Olympic. New coronavirus spread from Wuhan, China, all over the world. IOC President Bush made the statements. Integral Paralympic Committee also issued a statement. Tedros, Director General of the World Health Organization, told in press conference. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and IOC President Bush held telephone talk and agreed to extend the Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic by about a year.
The next person, please. Who is next? Please next. Group 2. Group 2. Go ahead.
The cost of postponement. Tokyo Olympics additional cost is about 6,040 million yen. Additional cost
400 million.
100 million yen. Additional cost of sports group 3,090 million yen. Agreement of compulsion facilities will have to pay 22.5 million yen. Advancing expense must be 10 million yen.
Japanese year GDP before the first Tokyo Olympic. Pre-Olympic year GDP is rising moderately, despite indirect costs such as infrastructure development. In the year before the Olympic, their GDP has not decreased. There was an economic peak from 19,000
No, 1955.
1955 to 1957, and the Iwato economic peak from 1958 to 1961.
I miss the pages. I miss the pages. Anyway, we start from here. Please. Go ahead. Which part is this? Go ahead.
Okay. 6. Impact of the Seoul Olympic 1988. The Seoul Olympic gave two major effects. Politically, it was South Korea's debut as an important member of the world community. Economically, it brought big demand to the country in the preparation. And the international trade developed between Korea and the Western countries after the Seoul Olympic. 7. Impact of the Pyongyang Olympic
2018. The
Pyeongchang.
Pyeongchang.
Mm.
The Pyeongchang Olympic helped the recovery of Korean economy. The Olympic brought many tourists all over the world.
Scheduled toward the second Tokyo Olympic. The Olympic held on July 23 to August 8, and Paralympics are held on August 24 to September next year. The marathon and walking race will be held in Sapporo. IOC approved the burden of up to $800 million as additional expenses. IOC and the Japanese organizing committee plans to simplify both of the Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic.
Conclusion. In the post, there were economic effects in both Japan and Korea. Includes around the year the event were held. However, the new coronavirus has reduced the original economic effects. The proposed simplification of the Olympic will reduce the new additional cost, but there have been significant loss due to the postponement. We hope the Tokyo Olympic 2021 will be safely held.
Okay, that's all. Thank you. Bruce, do you have any comment?
I'm good. I'm very thank you for giving us this kind of interesting topics.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
yeah.
Okay, then the group three. Group three. This one. Okay, we are ready.
Economies before and after coronavirus infection, Japan, South Korea, and the world.
Sorry.
Introduction. The decline of the economy by coronavirus, Japanese case. The decline of the economy by coronavirus, countries including South Korea. Changes in trade between Japan and South Korea. Changes in tariffs in Japan and Korea. Recovery of Japanese economy. Recovery of economy in countries including South Korea. These are the contents of our presentation.
The next person.
Japanese economy after Corona. We expect significant
negative growth this year because of coronavirus, with the postponement of the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics. It is expected that negative growth will continue beyond this year. Even after Corona, consumption growth could be weak because of depletion in employment and income.
Okay. Go ahead. Who's next? Who's next? The next person, please.
Employment rate in Japan and Asia after Corona. Employment rate is in Asia stay almost unchanged. The employment rate in the US increasing sharply. Employment rate is in Europe and higher than other areas.
Go ahead.
Import of major items. There are differences among items. There were significant increases in semiconductors, petroleum products, and semiconductor manufacturing equipment.
Go ahead.
Import in major items. Automobiles, petroleum products, and flat panel display sensors decreased, computers decreases. Industrial production index. There has been no big change last year. Industrial production index product sharply from March to April of this year.
Changes in tourism between Japan and Korea. Japan, one third of employees in the tourism industry lost jobs. Korea, many tourism businesses were closed. The number of foreigners visiting Korea, the number of tourists decreased significantly around February.
Oh, sorry.
Conclusion, the economic situations in both countries has become worse than dramatically by coronavirus infection. Tourism industry got serious damage. Japanese people and Korean people still cannot visit each other country. In addition to coronavirus crisis, the two nations has a political conflict now. We have to help each other and overcome the both crises.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Professor and Korean students, do you have any comments?
학생들 뭐 있으면 질문해 보세요. 뭐 어떤 아이디어나 이야기, 뭐.
Okay.
Korean students, do you have any idea or opinions or comment to talk about, their presentations? For example, how can we overcome this crisis? So we know that there is a crisis. Maybe you can ask them, maybe what is your opinion about to overcome this crisis,
Yeah.
for example?
Korean students, if you have any idea, please tell, anyway, that later in the group discussion.
Yeah.
Professor, anyway, do you know in Japan now infected persons are increasing dramatically.
Okay.
So and unfortunately, the Fukuoka University also has several students infected by coronavirus. Very unfortunately, so
Okay. Yeah.
very serious. Okay.
So what is the number today?
What?
What is the number of cases today?
Today in Japan?
Yeah, I haven't checked yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But anyway, that Tokyo maybe the 200 every day, and Fukuoka also the 100 every day.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that next. Next, so it's group 4.
Group 4.
Okay, let's go.
I will tell you about work style and employment changed by corona crisis. Comparison among Japan, Korea, and the world. Introduction, we will consider how coronavirus changed out work style and employment. Firstly, we compare the promotion of telework in Japan and Korea. Secondly, unemployment rate will be compared between Japan and the US. Remote work's current state in Japan. Increasing number of companies have started remote work after the infection of coronavirus. The increasing speed became about 3 times faster than before coronavirus.
Good, next. The next person. Good,
Remote
next.
work's current state in Korea. The president has promoted smart work since 2010 under the slogan of e-government. The policy aimed at work-life balance and the recovery of birth rate. South Korea's telework promotion started about civil servant.
Employment rate Japan. Japanese employment rate is relatively low in the world, but it has increased from the beginning of 2019. It will go up much higher because of corona crisis.
Please go ahead.
US unemployment rate in this April is 14.9%. It's 7%. It's the worst since the Great Depression just 2 months ago of it. The unemployment rate was only 3.5%. Korean government has promoted smart work from very early time. In Japan, telework has just started because of coronavirus. Japan's employment rate has been historically very low. Even in corona crisis, it still keeps low so far. US employment rate has jumped up dramatically at the start of corona crisis.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Professor, do you know the employment rate in Korea now?
Well, I haven't checked. I mean, it is increasing. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Only the number I remember
Yeah.
is the unemployment rate about the young people.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, which age from 15 to 29.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No.
Not so
I just
low.
remember the number of unemployment of which age is
Okay.
from 15 to 29 is around 10% nowadays.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, just for young person,
Too high.
from 15 to 29 years old.
I wonder, why the Japanese employment rate is so low.
Okay.
It's some maybe the people stay home and not research their jobs. I don't know.
Because of their willingness.
Yeah.
low willingness, maybe. I mean, I'm really wondering why. I mean, the unemployment of Japan is so low, even in this coronavirus days. Maybe, as you said,
That's right. So another idea, the Japanese company keep the employment, but cut the salary and wages, I think.
I'm not following the last saying. I'm not following what you said in the last.
Okay, thank you. You teach. Okay. Maybe the final presentation by group 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Cash flow vision.
Yes. Group 5, please start the presentation. Group 5. Please fast. Group 5.
Cash provision to the nation supports companies in Korean post crisis. Differences among governments, including Japan and Korea. Instruction. Now new coronavirus infection damaged the world economy. Government have done cash provision to their nations and support to companies. Our group makes comparison of such support among countries including Korea and Japan. Cash provision and reimbursement. Hong Kong provided 10,000 Hong Kong dollars per adult persons. 1,200 US dollar was provided to 18% households in the US. 100,000 yen has provided to all inhabitants in Japan. In Korea, 70% households whose income were low were given a minimum won check. Singapore government provided 600 Singapore dollar per person. Support to companies in Japan. Many medium and small-sized businesses visited consultation desks. Expert advices are available at the consultation desk. Fundraising support. Safety net loan. Coronavirus infection special loan. Interest supplements. Benefits. Subsidy program for sustaining businesses. Rent support benefit. Support to companies in other countries. Korean government announced an additional expenditure of 51.3 billion won for emergency measures such as the employment and maintenance subsidy. The total expenditure has reached 74 billion won. The US government requested a supplementary budget of $2.5 billion from the Congress and adopted a subsidy policy to keep employment up to $10,000 for small and medium-sized businesses. Singapore government announced 4.5 billion Singapore dollar support. It expanded the employment support scheme. Japanese government decided measures of 50.3 billion yen, including employment adjustment subsidy. It also supported vaccine development. Arts in cash provision. Japan. 100,000 yen was provided to all people listed in the Assess Resident Register. Korea. 70% households whose income were low were given a million won check. Reflection point. Japan. Because local government had few workforce, there are local communities where the provision was delayed. Korea advanced its IT system enabled to transfer the cash to bank account very smoothly. Words in support to companies. Japan executed amount reached 50,450 billion yen. 40% of the total plan of 35 trillion. Accepted loan were 78,000 to 1.05 million applications. 40 trillion won, 3.5 trillion yen was offered to 7 main industries such as aviation and automobile. There were many financial support like coordinated loan, capital increase and investment via special purpose fund. Reflection point. Japan. Financial support loss to timing and its size was also not enough. Korea. Their support center industry by industry experts solve the problems speedily. Conclusion. The size of benefit in Japan is almost the same as the other countries. Singapore has apparently a large budget in comparison of the populations. The budget of Korean government is half of Japan's. The reason is that Korean provision of cash was to 70% household, while in Japan cash was provided to all people. Korean government action was speedier than Japan's. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Just one thing I'd like to tell you is that at first we try to give our cash to the person whose income lower than 70%. After that, because of the political reason, we gave the money to all people.
Oh, okay, in Korea.
Yeah.
Oh,
but anyway, yeah.
But Professor, as you had that, my student highly estimated the Korean speediness of some action.
Okay.
Anyway, Japanese
yeah.
people also very complained about the very late action by the Japanese government.
Okay.
For example, have you ever heard the word Mask? It's a laughing story. Prime Minister Abe, proposed Abenomics economic policy. So Japanese people just laughed at delivering the mask by government Abenomics.
Okay.
It's very stupid policy.
Okay.
Anyway,
we also have some complaints about the government policy.
I see. I see.
It already passed.
I see.
So okay. By the way, I think it's the time for me. And
Yes.
by the way, I'm giving my thanks for you to host this program first in the Webex. It's very interesting, and your student as well. And next thing is we now moving to the June, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
And so already all Japanese students know the address of June that I gave you, or do I need to show them the link again?
Yeah.
Then okay, I will show them